The Kingdom of Forgotten Colors. Long ago, before the world looked as it does today, there was a kingdom unlike any other. It was not known for its armies or its treasures of gold, but for its colors. The skies above the kingdom shimmered with hues never seen elsewhere, blues that sang, greens that danced, and reds so deep they seemed to hold the warmth of the sun itself. Flowers glowed like living lanterns, rivers sparkled with silver light, and even the stones of the streets shone faintly, as if they remembered the dawn of the world. In this kingdom lived a young apprentice named Leora. She was not noble nor wealthy, but she had something rare, an artist's eye and a heart that longed to protect the beauty around her. She worked under an elderly master painter, Orion, who created murals for the palace walls. Orion taught her how to grind pigments from flowers, stones, and even starlight itself. Colors, he often said, are not decoration. They are the soul of memory. Lose them, and you lose who you are. Leora never forgot those words. But beauty is fragile, and not everyone valued it. Beyond the mountains lay the realm of Ash, a barren land where all color had been drained by a greedy sorcerer named Veiros. Hearing of the Radiant Kingdom, Veiros vowed to take its colors as his own. One night, when the moon hid behind clouds, he unleashed a storm of shadows. It swept across the land like a tide, swallowing fields, rivers, and skies. By dawn, half the kingdom's colors were gone. Roses turned to pale outlines, the sky dulled to a heavy gray, and children wept because they could no longer remember the shades of their mother's eyes. The people despaired. Even King Armand grew silent, for what was a ruler without a kingdom's soul? But Leora refused to bow to despair. She remembered Orion's words. If colors held memory, then perhaps they could also be found again. So she stood before the council and said, "If one man can steal the soul of our world, then one girl can bring it back. Let me go to the realm of Ash." Many laughed, some wept, but Orion, old and trembling, pressed a small wooden box into her hands. "Inside are the last drops of true color," he whispered. "Guard them well. They may guide you when all else fades." And so Leora began her journey. She crossed the Valley of Glass, where every tree had turned to crystal. She passed through villages where children painted their walls with mud, trying to remember what red, yellow, and blue had once been. Everywhere she went, she carried the box close to her heart, hearing the faint hum of colors inside it. At last, she reached the border of the realm of Ash. The land stretched out in endless gray. No birds sang, no flowers grew, and even her own shadow seemed to fade as if ashamed of itself. Veiros was waiting. He was taller than she had imagined, his robes made of shifting smoke, his eyes pale as ice. "Another fool come to beg for what is mine," he sneered. "Do you not see? The world is better without the chaos of color. Gray is order. Gray is power." Leora lifted her chin. Gray is silence, but life was never meant to be silent. Veiros laughed, but it was a laugh without warmth. "Then prove it." He raised his staff, and the ground cracked open. From the fissures rose monstrous figures of ash, wolves, serpents, and birds of prey, all sculpted from emptiness itself. They charged at Leora, their eyes hollow, their forms dissolving into smoke as they lunged. Her heart pounded, but she opened the box. A burst of light spilled out, fragments of forgotten colors. With trembling hands, she flung a drop of crimson onto the wolves. Suddenly, they staggered, their gray bodies blooming with streaks of red that turned into roses. The serpents hissed, but when a drop of gold touched them, they unraveled into beams of sunlight. The ashbirds shrieked and dived, but she released a shard of blue, and they dissolved into a clear sky that stretched overhead. In fury, Varos hurled his final spell. The sky split, and a storm of ash rushed down like a sea determined to drown her. Leora clutched the box. There was only one drop left, the last fragment of true color. She thought of Orion, of the children painting with mud, of the skies that once sang. She whispered, "If I must give you up, then let it be for all of us." She hurled the final drop into the heart of the storm. The world exploded in light. When the dust cleared, Varos was gone, dissolved into the very gray he worshipped. The realm of ash cracked and crumbled, its silence broken by the sound of rushing rivers and the cries of birds. But Leora did not return as she had been, for when the last drop of true color scattered, it became part of her. Her hair shimmered like sunlight, her eyes reflected the skies, and her hands glowed faintly with every shade she had set free. She returned to her kingdom not as an apprentice, but as the keeper of colors. Wherever she walked, flowers bloomed, murals painted themselves, and children laughed as their memories returned.